For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, 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 for the record.
Welcome back to DSC Podcast. I go by the name of Cash, and my guy to the left, right, box, or however you're looking at this is
Mr. Prez back in the building, people.
Hey, we not gonna hold you guys up. We gonna get right to it and let you know why we here. We're here to review Busta Rhymes' latest album, The Legend, Extinction Level Event Part 2. This is our initial thoughts. We've been sitting with it for less than a week now, and you know, we got varied views on this one, man. I feel like it's good. Prez, you know, he's on the fence of this Busta. So, you know, without further ado, we're going to jump right into it and gloss over some of our highlighted tracks or the tracks that we don't like too much. So, Prez, you take it away.
All right. Yeah, man. So when I started listening to this Busta album, man, I gave it this first listen to on Friday, and I just felt like it was a nice little palette change. I'm glad he didn't have too much competition coming out this week. But after my first listen to it, I had to go to something else afterwards. It wasn't nothing that I wanted to play immediate right off the back again. It had some nice cuts on there, but overall, I think I could take a couple of the songs and put them into a playlist and you know, be done with it. But I know you've been thinking totally different about it. Like, y'all get this New York vibe, this New York feel way different than I get from it. So I like to hear your thoughts on it, and you tell me like what you liked about this album, and then we'll get into the cuts that I did like and everything.
So for me, it's first of all, when I say I want lyricism, that's exactly what I want. So when I get it, I can't complain about it. So the fact that he took, I don't know, last time he dropped something was 2008, 2009, and it took him this long to come back. I'm happy with what he came back with. He came back with something age appropriate, in my opinion, and went back to the essence, you know, which is dope beats and his rapping ability. And then when you can rely on that, you can be in the game as long as Busta been in the game. And it was good music at the end of the day. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not going out here like everybody go listen to the Busta, but I will say that when you do listen to it, I was quite surprised. I was expecting to be let down, but I wasn't.
Why was you expect to be let down? What, has Busta dropped an album that'll let you down?
I mean, in my opinion, man, I haven't checked for Busta in quite some time, man. The last album he dropped, like I said, was 11 years ago or so. So, no, I wasn't really checking for it. But what I was checking for is the hype behind it. I've been hearing about this Busta album for about the last 2 years, how it's incredible, how it's this and that. And, yeah, part of me wants to see if he can deliver from that. Like, if it's that dope and everybody's saying it, I gotta hear it. So that's why I sat down with it. Like, yo, I'm gonna check it out.
And that's what I think like kind of killed it for me a little bit. Like the hype that was built up around it is just like, man, that's a lot of stuff to live up to. We're in the day and age where people now just drop an album and let it be a surprise, and then you get it and you're not expecting it, and then it's like get the word of mouth spreading over here, and the album, the music gonna speak for itself. It's gonna do what it's due just off the strength of everybody having a Spotify, a Tidal, you know what I mean, any one of the music streaming services, and they gonna spread it to their friends because everybody can get the album now. It ain't nothing like going out like this ain't like back in the day. You gotta go buy an album and then you gotta go. They gotta drive to the store and get it. They got it instantaneous, man. If a song is hot, it's hot. So I didn't think it needed all the hype that was put up behind it, and I think that's what kind of like it put expectations up here, man. I was expecting like that high energy Busta like nonstop through this album because, like you're saying, this is about to be momentous, and it's kind of underwhelming on that part.
So what in particular, like, so let's go to songs to give people some examples of things that you liked and didn't like on the album.
Okay. So Out of My Mind. Thought that one was good. Extinction Level Event 2, Wrath of God. That one was real nice.
What about the intro? You like the intro? With
No.
Chris Rock, Pete Rock, and
No.
Rakim? Okay.
No. I thought it eventually got in his rapping, but it was like 7 minutes long, and it was like 2 to 3 minutes of it at the beginning that was just like taking too long to get to the rapping. That was taking me. I'm like, man, come on.
But that's the same thing too with the Wrath of God portion. You know what I mean? Minister Farrakhan went on almost 2.5 minutes of a speech, and then he got into the song.
Hold up, that wasn't the skit before the song?
Nah, man, that's the song. Number 6, track 6.
Oh man. So yeah. I didn't know that. I thought it was like coming off the last song going into that one. But yeah, well then, yeah, it definitely was plagued by that same thing. But I felt like when he did get on there and rapping, it was worth it. But that intro was just drug out.
Gotcha.
Like when I want to get into an album, I'm getting into an album. I don't need you to continue to build up hype. You've been building that off on your promotion for the past like 2 months, man.
You want them to get right to it. You want them to get right to it. I got you. So what about slow flow? I know you love those kind of beats.
No, I did not. I actually did not like slow flow. I hated the beat. The video game sounding did not work with his rhyming style to me. It was just taken away. It was too much of that little video game sounding up in there.
Wait a minute.
It was drawing. Yeah, it was drawing me away from it. I'm just saying, like, it was.
Oh, okay. So the ODB didn't win you over at all? None of that?
No, because the beat kept taking me out of it.
All right, man. What else?
I was expecting Lil Flip to be featured on it with it, as much as he was like doing the little video game stuff on it.
All right. So what else did you like or dislike on it?
Don't Go, featuring Q-Tip. Thought that one was a solid cut. And then Master Farad Muhammad. Is that the one with Rick Ross?
Yeah,
that one was nice. Rick Ross killed that. Rick Ross came in and killed that.
Yeah, I like the part where Rick Ross came in and he did his normal Maybach music, but then when Bus came in on that smooth flow that he typically does on his R&B cuts, like if you think back to the joint with Janet Jackson and Baby If You Give It To Me, that tone that he's in, that he just came like that and killed it effortlessly. So man, what else? That's it.
That was it. That's all I like.
Oh man. All right, man. Cool. So I'm gonna run through some of my favorite jams off this, man. So in my opinion, man, I have a completely different vibe than you from this album, and mainly probably because it sounds like a typical throwback New York album. Again, a lot of these beats were dated, but it doesn't sound dated, if that makes sense. And then I like the joint, even the joint Out of My Mind with the Belle Biv DeVoe thing. I kind of was like, oh, this is kind of not my thing initially, and then after I was listening to it, and then I had it in the car with the wife. She's like, oh, what's this? Who did this over? And then it was Busta. So I'm like, that's your up-tempo party thing. It might not be typically what you've been listening to the last few years, but I think that will go off anywhere. You know what I mean? If people was allowed to go outside. I like Don't Go as well. Also, True Indeed, the Master Farad Muhammad. You with Anderson .Paak. I think I got sold on his I forgot, it wasn't Letterman. It was who did he do he did a little performance with, I think it was Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, okay.
So
but
yeah, they did a
was on with him.
Yeah, they did a dope performance. So you know how that can kind of sway you a little bit. I saw the performance before I heard the song on the album. So I was kind of swayed with that being dope. Best I Can with Rhapsody. Like I said, man, I can identify with the situation. She held it down for the dudes that's been doing a thing for their kid. And I kind of resonated with that. We're going through the same thing. So like we said, man, it's all about what you could resonate with at times.
I did like that concept where she was flipping it and telling him like the stuff that she was doing wrong as the baby mother, just to like cause strife in his life and stuff like this, and how could just calm it down a little bit and, you know, have some peace just to raise a kid. But yeah,
pretty much anything any dude that ever been through that situation would want to hear after going through years and years of nonsense with their you know, former spouse or baby mom. And then as you kind of got down to it, the Mary J one I like in Freedom, but one in particular that I felt could have been a lot stronger but had decent verses is the one with Kendrick Lamar, Look Over Your Shoulder. Now I know you didn't mention that. Is there a reason why, Press?
I just didn't feel it. I didn't find like they made a good mix on the track. You know what I mean? And it's just their sounds was like a little bit too different for me. It didn't really mesh well on the track. So
I kind of felt the same way too, bro. And it really was. They had good verses, and that's the only thing. The beat,
but they didn't sound good together. It didn't mix well on the song with them two. It's nice effort. You want the hot artist on your album, but sometimes it just don't work. Sometimes maybe better off just getting somebody else and that's going to bring a different type of energy and actually going to be able to carry a song. But their two energies was just off.
That's true, brother. That's true. The more and more I tried to listen to it and give it some praise, all I could say is that they came with it with the lyrics as they should, as lyricists. But outside of that, the beat, it didn't have no real ebbs and flows. Like they could have did something more momentous in that moment with spitters of that level from the old to the current one. You know what I mean? That's tearing shit up. And we haven't heard Kendrick in a while. So
I mean, the last thing I really like heard Kendrick on where he kind of like killed it and with a featured song where he is a featured artist is the one that he had with Wayne, Mona Lisa. And like they killed that thing, man. So that's what I expect from when he's on the album or he's getting with one of these legendary old school artists, you know, like they need to come together and just make something epic. And that wasn't epic. I mean, if I gave it to him, it'd just be oh, these two was on the track, they together. But was it the song that it should have been? No.
Yeah.
I think it was
again, you're right.
Money could have been spent. Money could have been spent elsewhere on another feature to make sure you meld right with them, type of deal.
So this is not gonna be one of your top 10 albums. Yeah.
No, and that was gonna be my next question to you. Actually, it's just like so since you say this is a good album, right? We done had a lot of solid albums come out over the past like month and a half. Like, where do you see this fitting in that little mix when you actually gonna go back? I know we listen at a lot of music because we do this for the podcast and everything, but when is this gonna crack your regular rotation? I want to know that because I mean, we done got Benny, we got Conway, we got Big Sean, like all over the past like month and a half. Reason, like, come on, man,
Nas.
like where's this honestly gonna fit in on your list? And how is it gonna get played through? I respect him where he at. Like I know what he done brought into the game and all this stuff right here. But this album, like I'm not seeing where it fits in my 2020 rotation.
Right now it's only been under a week. It more than likely won't, but he does have some jams on here. I would just say it's a solid effort. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just a solid effort. And he's his best hype man, as he should. Like, you know what I mean? But for me, it just, I'm going to take about 4 or 5 joints off of here immediately.
Same.
Like, no debating that will make a solid playlist for 2020, no matter what you're listening to. If I make something, Busta's going to be on it for sure. But top 10, can't do it, bro. Can't do it. So, man, with that said, man, I wanted to wrap it up real quick. So you got any final thoughts for the Busta album and, you know, the people that like Busta?
Hey, Busta gave us a lot of hits, man. I mean, you got to give him for what his whole catalog, what his whole history is. I mean, he's been doing this since the early 90s, man. And much respect to the guy, I'm talking about doing his thing. But I mean, in 2020, it's just a different type of vibe and different type of thing where everybody's listening to. I appreciate him still constantly putting out music and still putting his passion into it, but as far as just getting to the everyday listen, like I said, like you said, I said as well, I'm going to throw a couple songs in the playlist because you got a couple songs on there that's fire. But as for an overall for Extinction level event 2, I give it probably like a 3.
And I'm right there with you, Prez. If I'm on a long road trip during the holiday, during this season, I may listen to it a little bit more because I may get tired of some of the things that I've ran out and may pick up something from it. And I think that's the listening space that you got to listen to it in when you are cleaning up the house on a road trip or on a run or something like that. Like, that's the time to sync this album. And if you just sitting still and you know what I mean, it probably might not be for you. So I'll give this a 3 out of 5 if we giving it mics
3
or
out of
whatever.
5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. And I think it's dope, man. So I'll leave y'all with that.
We give little deals around here. 3 out of 5.
3 little deals. If y'all know what that means, this kind of the backstory is Frank is Mr. Prez, sorry, is country as hell. So he said a little deal about after everything he say he trying to stop it because he a podcaster now, but but a little deal sticks. So I'll give it 3, and it's a solid body of work. By no means does it mean it's bad.
Yeah, no.
All right, man. Yo, I think tomorrow some more music drops. I don't know who's gonna surprise drop because everybody's doing that nowadays. You can't prepare for anything, but we'll be right back.
Isn't Sci-Hi? Is that supposed to be this week? Is that this week or next week? And then I know Ransom dropping one of these weeks too.
I'm not sure, but
I'm saying
we're gonna look it up. We're gonna excited if that Sci-Hi drop. You best believe we might be right back here next. We might be back Friday night with another one because I'm sure me and Prez gonna run that shit about 4 times that day. So with that said, man, we done. We out of here. Hope you enjoyed the quick initial reaction. Again, we got to sit with it. So by no means is this our final verdict on it. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Where else are we? I mean, Google Podcasts. I mean, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Any
streaming service that we own. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hey, go ahead, subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you like this. And leave some comments down below. Let us know how we're doing. And let us know if you actually agree with this or like your first listen, it was totally different. Let us know.
All right, Prez, man. Peace out, brother.
All right. Peace.